Alright, ladies and gentlemen, new week, new Odyssey. What have we got in store? It's all about the buffs. Okay. Teamwork makes the dream work. Nice map, nice map, nice map. Nice map. And is it another expert map on chimps? Okay! I fucking hate this map, but it's not an expert map. Interesting. Alright. End of the road hard standard 1 to 40, 10% increase to balloon speed. Alpine run hard standard 3 to 50, 20% increase to mob health. The cabin. The cabin. Hard reverse 3 to 60. Sulfur Springs, hard ABR 8 to 70 with every balloon being camouflaged. And finally, off the coast, hard impalpable 10 to 100, 10% increase to balloon speed, 5% increase to mob health, and a very generous amount of money to start us off. Okay. This is looking good. What can we have? I mean, it's gotta be open. What does it? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's run Ben this time. We've got a bunch of decent maps. No immediate threat except for maybe ABR with all camo. But so long as we're allowed my boy, we have no worries about starting off with camo detection. Okay, cool. Yeah, fuck it, let's run Ben. It's been a while since we've done a Ben run. There's a decent chunk of water. I won't bring more than maybe that, though. Wizards, druids, ninjas. Let's banana farm a little crazily. Bring on some mermonkeys, some alchemists. Maybe not that many. Heli pilot, yeah, why not? Bring a couple of those. And maybe a balloon trap if we're really farming stupidly. Like, stupidly crazy. And why not? A glue gunner for shits and gigs. Alright, we'll do it. This seems like a chill Odyssey. I always love a good ninja start, but the problem is oftentimes you can't pull it off on, like, chimps. So I've sort of just manipulated my brain into not going for ninja starts very often, but in this case we can definitely do it. Because I do miss my... my original strategy for chimps was essentially, where possible, and bear in mind, you know, this won't work for a lot of maps, but my initial chimp strategy was get a 401 ninja with a 401 alchemist, and if it's in a good enough spot, you get to round 50, and by that time, you've got money to essentially do whatever the hell you want. Usually I follow it up with a crossbow master or something, and then that takes you to whatever 5th tier you want after that. It's usually pretty good setup. Okay, we'll go for Ben, just to make life easier and a little bit OP. I think that's fairly accurate. Oh, it's been a good day. Right, I need to sort out my list of shit that I need to do. Right. I no longer need to talk to that person because they didn't reply to my email. The fuckers. Still need to do this. Already did that. Need to follow up on this. Sorry, the reason I'm going through like a checklist right now is because if I hadn't already said earlier this... Oh, actually, it would have been last week. And last week, that wouldn't have been true. So I won't have said anything about it. Interesting. Alright. You know what? Fuck it. Let's keep it a little more vague. If you haven't been keeping up with videos that I've been putting out, then you won't understand any of this. But for those who have been, you'll glean a bit more from the generic garbage I'm about to spew. Right. Big things are happening in my life. Good So, I've got a checklist to make sure everything goes well, and essentially happens when it needs to happen. And I'm gonna keep it at that for now. What's this? Is this fucked up? Yeah. It's good. But yes, essentially, if you know, you know. If you don't, then that's okay. I won't pressure you into watching a bunch of stuff, but at some point in time, you'll figure it out, and it's not all that important for other people to know, but I'm excited, and that's the main thing. So work was pretty chill today. That's what I know. Never mind. But yeah, work was easy enough. I found out some juicy secrets at work. Essentially, someone that got hired fairly recently turns out to be a relative of our boss. And they wanted to keep it on the low to essentially just be like, well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm playing favorite type thing. Yes, which makes a lot more sense now because we often see those two talking, but I'm always just like, he's still fairly new. Maybe he just wants to check in with the main boss, which I did quite a bit when I was still new. I always checked in with my boss before I headed off, rather than just like heading off after being told by like a lower level boss, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's just say the dots are connecting, and it makes a lot of sense. But, yeah. One of my mates wasn't at work today, and the speaker that we play music on fucking died the other day. So everyone is very much down in the dumps about that, except for maybe like one or two people who are psychopaths, and for some reason prefer complete silence and the whirring of the fucking air conditioning, which baffles me. I don't know how they can put up with that shit when you could be listening to the Gorillas or something. Anyway, tomorrow's our longest shift, and I'm not going through it without any music. So I'm going to bring my own tiny speaker just for my little section. And if they tell me off for it, I'll tell them, fuck you, buy a new speaker. Because the company has said they will not be paying for a new speaker. And if we want one, then we can all chip in together and get one. Which is kind of fucking annoying, because it's a quality of life thing. If you want your workers to be happy at work, which may or may not include them speeding up and or slowing down due to their happiness, especially in my case, luckily, I'm right at the fucking front of the line, so I can essentially dictate the speed of when we get shit done. Anyway, music equals happiness, and they don't want to give us music, so they don't want us to be happy. It's a very sad day. Very sad day. But at the very least, I'll have music tomorrow. And I think my mate down the other end of the warehouse will also have music, but most people in between probably won't. And it's very sad for them, and it's going to be a very fucking long day for them as well. Okay, there we go. I might actually need to modify my playlist to not include certain things. Because ordinarily my playlist just sort of blasts out over the terrible fucking speaker that we had. And, essentially the speaker at one point in time, I don't know how it happened, but it got dropped. And it chipped off a chunk of it. And then it's never sounded the same since. It sort of, originally, it sounded really good, and you could hear it really well anywhere within the warehouse. But, after it got dropped, it sort of sounded like you're hanging outside in the alleyway next to a nightclub, and you're listening to the music that's blasting through the walls. It's just really, how do I put it? Really dull, really muffled. Really fucking muffled. So, yeah. It wasn't in the best of conditions anyway. But we're still sad that it's gone, because we had gotten used to and started putting up with the terrible fucking noises that were coming out of it. Because they vaguely sounded like music. Anyway. Finally died on us the other day. And so my temporary solution is a very tiny portable speaker. I'm just gonna hang it up at my area, play my songs. But yeah, usually my music that I would put on the big speaker would be blasting out and it would be really muffled. So for the most part, the people closer to the speaker would hear all the lyrics, and the people further away would just sort of hear the beats in the background. Some of the songs I play have a strange set of lyrics. So I'm kind of glad that for the most part people weren't able to hear them, but then every now and then I'd get people that work near the speaker come up to me and go, "Is this what they're saying?" And I'd go, "Yep, that's what they're saying." They'd be like, "That's fucking hilarious." Because I do often, like, play a bunch of meme songs as well as, like legitimate songs, like pop charts type shit. Because, there's a very fine balance in our workplace for what music people like. For example, one of my mates loves heavy metal, death metal, just all sorts of metal. Just essentially the heavier the better. And so I've got some lighter but still metal songs on my playlist. And then I'd say a majority of the people are just happy with like right, where was I? Oh yeah. Most people are just generally pretty happy with like pop chart stuff, you know. Whatever's trending, whether it be fucking Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Harry Styles. The Gorillaz, you know, just general stuff that most people would know. The majority of the people in the warehouse are pretty satisfied with that. Some people like R&B, some people are like more old school stuff, things from like the 60s, 70s, 80s. But yeah. So, I've got a pretty decent balance. But yeah, some people, more specific niches that I cannot currently accommodate. That's the way. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes, because I guarantee some people are going to rip other people's eyes out, because they just get upset and grumpy, and there's no music to calm them down or cheer them up, and everyone's just going to be fucking angry or frustrated or both. So, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of carnage. I mean, even today when I didn't have my speaker, I just had my phone in my pocket, playing music loud enough so that I could hear it, but most others couldn't. And it worked out quite well. Just like this Odyssey. Alright, This is part 1 complete. Part 2 will feature these 3 maps, and it should be a pretty easy breezy looking Odyssey. Anyway, this has been all about buffs. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.